So there's been huge changes. Daniel Zhang is a veteran of Alibaba. He took over as CEO in 2015, and since then there's been huge changes. Alibaba's pushed into mobile. They've become the biggest cloud computing player in China. They've gone through the tech crackdown and a massive restructuring this year as they split into 6 units and look to IPO those all off. So huge changes right now. Daniel Zhang will remain as the CEO of the cloud computing business, which I want to get into in a moment because I spoke to him back in 2018 and a bit of foreshadowing of that. But just the other names, just to break those down. Eddie Wu, the new CEO. Who is he? Well, he's a co-founder of Alibaba. He's the current chair of Taobao and Tmall, which are Alibaba's 2 biggest shopping sites in China and their core business. He spearheaded the launch of the mobile app for Taobao, and he's created effectively what is the monetization platform for this in China. So he's very much a core Alibaba veteran. He knows about the e-commerce business. He's been a chief technology officer of those businesses, so very key on the tech front as well. So that tells us a little bit about who this person is and what they're focused on. They know the business well. They're at the forefront of innovation, and they're a trusted hand internally, effectively. The other person is Joe Tsai, who is probably well known actually in the US as the owner of the Brooklyn Nets basketball team. He studied at Yale. He's seen as a much more international-facing executive, and now he's taking over as chairman of the company. Again, this could hint towards a little bit more of an international push from Alibaba. The president was speaking last week at Viva Tech, where Karen and I were at, and he was saying that the company is looking to launch local, effectively, versions of its shopping app in Europe. So I think there's 2 strands to unpick there.
It sounds like a little bit of Game of Thrones behind the scenes as to who takes what now in the split. But when it comes to Zhang, I mean, many runs on the boards. Singles Day, which we used to talk about all the time on the channel, this big annual shopping event, he was the man that created it, which was basically just a way to sell more product through the site. So hardly unsuccessful, but something's changed over the years, and I wonder whether this is about him now just protecting himself because big tech titans, those who have been head of tech in China, have been taken down, effectively stripped of some of those titles, and it's been very challenging. Is it about the internal politics or is it about the external politics with regulators here?
I think there's a little bit of both. There's certainly the external politics in view, but there is also a massive shift just happening at Alibaba, and that is due to this restructuring where the company is looking to split into 6 separate units. And I think it's key here that Daniel Zhang is remaining as the CEO of the cloud computing business. And the reason why is this is the big bet for Alibaba's future, and Zhang will head this unit as it pushes towards an IPO. And I had a chance to catch up with Daniel Zhang in 2018. He had just coming into the role as executive chairman, and we spoke about cloud. Let's just listen in to what he had to say.
Cloud computing is our long-term strategy, and we strongly believe that every business in the future will be powered by cloud. And we are very happy to build this cloud infrastructure in the new digital era and support all the business to go digital.
So even back then, nearly 5 years ago, he was so bullish on cloud computing. In just a bit of context, that was at an $825 million per quarter business back then. It's now a $2.7 billion per quarter business now. So it's grown pretty quickly, but it faces significant challenges. Back then, it was growing 90%. Last quarter, it declined 2%.
We do wonder what those conversations look like behind the scenes. You know, we've got 6 businesses here. Who wants the shopping area just as the Chinese consumer's not spending? Who wants the delivery business and those valuations have not gone so well? Who wants the AI business? Oh, I'll have that, says Zhang.
Exactly, and AI cloud, these are key parts, but also these are technologies that are also key to Beijing's strategic priorities. AI, cloud computing. China wants to be leaders in these space, and so Alibaba, to some extent, with this business, aligns with the strategic priorities of the Chinese government. It has had some challenges. As I mentioned, growth has slowed down due to the macro environment and due to increased competition in cloud. So clearly, I think there's a view here from Zhang. Look, I need to focus all my intention on this business. We need to grow. We need to grow quickly in what should be a very fruitful environment for cloud and AI. But we're seeing declines, and as we push towards an IPO, he sees the need to really, put a lot of effort into this business and get it growing again.